Welcome to Steel, Forge, and Fire, Sword and Knife. On this channel, we support our U.S. veterans. Veterans, there's a place for you here. There's a number in the description of all my videos if you are in despair. What's up, guys? This is Joe from Steel, Forge, and Fire, Sword and Knife. How's everybody doing today? Thanks for joining me on another video. As promised, another off-grid video for you. It was definitely an off-grid day today. I was off the grid today. Ha ha ha. I wish I was off the grid today. Out of New York, off the grid today. But yeah, it was definitely an off-grid day today. I have a couple off-grid knives that I was kind of playing with today, but specifically we're talking about the Rhino right here. So here you have the fixed blade from off-grid. It's the Backcountry Coyote fixed blade. This is the Rapid Fire Coyote, okay, which is a matching knife, okay, fixed blade, it's a folder. And then you have our knife of the day here is the Rhino from off-grid. So I do love this knife. I really do. I've been carrying it around for a little while. I know you've seen it basically on a lot of my videos as far as my everyday carries. You've seen some pictures of it. I've been posting on Instagram. It's definitely a wonderful, wonderful knife, okay? It's more of a slicer type of knife. Now, what I wanted to do is actually compare it to the other fixed blade I have here, which is the Rapid Fire Coyote. Rapid Fire Coyote and the Rhino, okay? Now, in terms of these two knives, I love both knives. There are differences between the two for me, okay? The handles on all of the off-grid knives are all incredibly comfortable. They're all overbuilt and built incredibly tough. They're definitely the type of knives that I would not be afraid to push a little harder, okay? Because they're just built that well. Definitely the handle on the Rapid Fire, I feel like is a little bit more comfortable in the hand. As you can see, you kind of it just grips a hand. It's a thicker liner here, and it just kind of fills your hand in really, really well. A very, very slight sharpening choil there, okay, but you can definitely get a good sharp edge. It's very, very slight. I wish it was a little bit deeper, but for the most part, if you know what you're doing, you can definitely get a nice sharp edge on here. I just wish they put a little bit more of an indentation for a sharpening choil, but for the most part, it does well. But I love, love, love the blade shape of this Rapid Fire. Jimping on this knife is more on top, okay? So you can see your thumb rests very, very comfortably right here, okay? And it just, you have a great grip. You always, I still think that this is definitely one of my favorite, okay, handles on an EDC that I own, and I still say that. Even though I do really like, okay, the Rhino in terms of the comfort of the grip, there's definitely a lot of real estate here as well that it's very comfortable to hold. It's definitely not as thick as a Rapid Fire, as you can see here. Okay, very, very slight, more of a beefier handle on the Rapid Fire than the Rhino, but it still fits your hand extremely well. Okay. So if I had to say which one of these knives I would say is a little bit more comfortable in the hand, it would be the Rapid Fire over the Rhino. The Rhino also is it's built a little differently in terms of how you hold it. Finger choil is right here. Here you have a little bit more of a finger choil. Sharpening choil here, so you can definitely get right into the edge to get a nice sharpening edge as opposed to the Rapid Fire, which doesn't have too much of a sharpening choil. Jimping on the Rhino is more on the top, okay, whereas it's more towards the handle on the Rapid Fire. So you hold this a little bit differently. I found that I had a little bit more of finer detail work, maybe with the Rhino over the Rapid Fire, because you're holding a little bit far back than like this with the Rhino, but I still felt like I had good control on both knives. But I think as far as fine detailed and slicing work, I felt like I had more control over the tip with the Rhino. And this happens to be a little bit more of a slicer type of knife as opposed to this one It's a little bit thicker, thicker stock, thicker blade in terms of it's a beefier, high belly blade. And I think this is more of a harder use knife. And this ends up being more of a slicer type of knife, okay, as far as what I can see with the Rhinos. The biggest differences between the two is the deployment, okay? The deployment on the rapid fire is extremely, okay, I'll get to the close in a second. Rapid fire has a spring-assisted opening, so it's extremely fast. I mean, it is just lightning fast, very good lockup, okay? Opens really, really well. Before we get to the close this up. This is zippy, but you can tell it's not as zippy as a rapid fire. See that? I just feel like this locks up a little bit tighter than the Rhino. The detent on this though is a lot better. Okay, in terms of the close, it closes right up. Okay, very good one-handed operation. The detent on this Rhino is absolutely fantastic. So like I said, it still is zippy. It can close all the way. It still is a zippy zippy deployment, but the detent on the close is a lot better than on the rapid fire, which is spring assisted. So it doesn't fall at all. You kind of have to. You can still do it with one hand, kind of force it closed, but it locks up really well. So deployment, fantastic. Detent on the close, not so good. But that just goes with the nature of a spring-assisted type of knife. But with one hand, you can still close it up pretty easily. And it actually has been wearing out a little bit better, been a little easier doing one-hand operation. But with this, you got to kind of be careful not to cut yourself and really get a good grip and close it up. Whereas with the Rhino, zips open and kind of just falls into place. So that's the immediate difference I see between these two knives in terms of the open and close is a lot better. Okay, the deployment is better on the rapid fire, but the detent on the close is much better on the Rhino. Both equally both zippy, rapid fire better. Close, Rhino better. So that's the difference between these two EDCs from off-grid that I've been doing a great deal of carrying with this. Every day's been an off-grid day for me lately. But the deployment, I don't know if I could do it with my left hand, but try to do both at the same time. Not a lefty, so hopefully I can open this up. This is just a little bit more zippy. And I just feel like this locks up a little bit better. And I notice that when it is open, this has much more of a firmer hold on the blade. Whereas the Rhino, very, very, I can't even call it movement, but I just feel like this locks up a little bit tighter, okay, than the Rhino. Okay, this is just more, I feel like this is more of a harder use type of knife, and this is a good everyday slicer, fine detail work type of thing. And this is just, if you really want to push the knife a little bit more, I feel like the rapid fire would definitely hold the workload a little bit better than the Rhino. Both equally very, very well built knives. Very comfortable carries, deep pocket carries with the clips on both. This carry is a little bit slimmer because it's not as thick. But both fit in the hand really well. Both are great carries. This is a little bit more of a slimmer, comfortable carry. This is a great carry, better carry, okay? Better handle, more comfortable handle, a lot of grip around the handle. Better grip for a slicer to get more fine detailed work around the point. So that's the difference between these two, okay? And listen, I love this off-grid backcountry Coyote. I really do love this off-grid. This is a great, great knife. It took it did benefit from me putting a much sharper edge on here. I wouldn't say much sharper. I kind of just slightly reprofiled a little bit, honed it up, and the edge really came to life. The proprietary D2 steel that Off-Grid uses is fantastic. It's very easy to sharpen. And now that I put a sharper edge on here, it's a lot better, and I feel more comfortable working with it. Whereas the Rapid Fire really did come with a very razor sharp edge. I was a little upset about the fixed blade counterpart, okay, in the same line that didn't come with the same type of sharp edge. But again, I spent probably about 20 minutes on my workshop, Reprofiled it a bit, and it is absolutely fine. I did play with these knives today. There's some cutting with them. I love playing with these knives, these off-grid knives, because I just feel like I can kind of push them a little bit harder than I can with other knives because they're just built that well. They're overbuilt and built really, really, really well. Yup. It's an off-grid play day. So here is your off-grid Rhino, well, my off-grid Rhino. Very, very handsome knife. I don't know why the hell I was wearing gloves. I was kind of like moving some cinder blocks around and whatever, and I actually just forgot to take them off. But I can assure you there are no hot spots on this knife whatsoever. Definitely a comfortable knife to hold. So here is the invented from Donnie B All Day 4-foot drop to the stump test. So if you're not behind Donnie yet, please subscribe to Donnie B All Day. He's he's marching to 10,000. He's not trying. He's marching to 10,000. So let's get behind him and get him there a lot sooner than later. So here is some hard downward throws at the stump. And this is kind of just to test the locking mechanism, to see how it holds up, to see if anything gets loose. So you're going to notice that on a lot of these tests, I'm constantly checking the blade to see how well it's still fitting on the housing. And it really, with down hardwood throws, you would imagine it would damage the knife, but these off-grid knives are built so incredibly well. It's such a handsome knife. And here's a rapid fire coyote. Had to play with this knife today too as well. So here's again Donnie's 4-foot drop test. That was pretty horrible. I think I had a couple good bites coming in. That's a little bit better. I think the last one's a little bit on target. There you go. Look at that bite into the wood it took. Really, really great blade. I absolutely love the steel and the contour of all of these off-grid knives. They're really just made to cut. Look at that bite right into the wood. You see some really hard downward throws. And again, absolutely no damage. So here is the fixed blade. This was the most balanced of them. Obviously, it's a fixed blade, but it's such a great balanced fixed blade knife. This I would definitely recommend for the bushcrafter, the outdoorsman that's looking for a great knife to have at its side. Has such a great fitting Kydex sheet. There's some hard downward throws here too. That was pretty horrible. Almost hit my camera. Could have lost my lens. That wasn't good. Got to get my downward throws good. Some practice with them. That was a lot better. Took some nice bites when I had my alignment good. Really went in there. Actually just took the wood right up. Look at that. Beautifully balanced knife. Absolutely love this fixed blade. I really have to give so much credit to Scab at Choirboyz Cutlery Outdoors. He is such a great knife reviewer, great tester, demonstrator of knives. I mean, this is his test in terms of the water hose. Thanks, Scab, for introducing us to so many different ways that we can kind of demonstrate these knives on our channels. I really appreciate it. And this is a great test to kind of test the comfort of the handle, especially with those really high stress grips that you have to take to get through the water hose. And this was slicing really well. It's such a great slicer, this Rhino. Scab is marching to 5,000. If you're not subscribed to Choirboyz Cutlery Outdoors, please do now. And this is the even sharper, pretty much razor sharp, rapid fire coyote that did also a great job. And this is among the sharpest of the off-grids that I've had so far. But again, very comfortable, even with all the stress on the wrist and the hands. It stayed pretty comfortable and contoured in the hand throughout all the cuts. And again, here are some slices. I just think the Rhino is just more of a thinner slicer profile, but this is such a robust, well-made folder from off-grid. So here is the fixed blade. Did equally, well in terms of slicing. Again, since I put that sharper edge on it, does really well. Look at that Kydex sheet, locks into place. Absolutely fantastic. I love that sheet. So I did some wood processing with the Rhino. Again, excellent D2 steel. Edge retention is fantastic. Did not see any difference through cutting and slicing all day on and off camera. The edge retention stayed very well on this blade. I really do love the job that they do on their D2 steel. and it's affordable. I mean, being D2 makes it also very affordable compared to a lot of the super steels. And their D2 is it's just so well done, edge retention wise, slicing wise, durability. It's fantastic. So you can see I'm going to be getting some really, really nice curls on this hard Home Depot processed wood. It handled it really, really well, almost like a fixed blade. I mean, their folders are pretty much as strong as their fixed blades. And again, much sharper, rapid fire, really beautiful, beautiful feather sticking there on this processed wood. Very, very, very impressed. And again, this was a little bit more comfortable in the hand, as I was with had said before, that I just feel like this handle on the rapid fire just fits the hand really well, really well. And look at those feather sticking curls. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Love this blade. Love this knife. Both, I have to say, were very comfortable throughout all of the cutting that I did with them. But that rapid fire was just a little bit more comfortable in the hand compared to the Rhino, which was good on its own right. But out of all the three, definitely the fixed blade was the most comfortable in hand to do wood processing, as you would imagine. So I did some batoning here, nothing too crazy. Just tried to get through the wood. Again, more demonstration and testing, nothing scientific here, just to test how good the locking mechanism is on this off-grid Rhino. There's some more slicing here on some hardwood. Again, testing it out again. No wiggle on the blade. It still housed it very, very well. And this is the, I believe, the rapid fire. I have to look because they're just so similar, because the fixed blade looks exactly like it. But it was doing such a great job going through this hardwood. Again, making up some really nice curls. Benefits from that really razor sharp edge that it came out of the box with it. And I haven't done anything to this blade whatsoever. Out of the box, right to you. And this is not the first time I cut with it. And I had to actually do some batoning with the fixed blade, of course. And again, this is some really hard, root wood from a stump. And it went through it really well. You see, I was kind of banging on the tip there. After inspecting it again, the tip held up very well, and it stayed very, very comfortable in the hand. So this is Scab's zip tie test to test the tip to see how well it holds up. And with a little bit of pressure there, I was able to get to the first one, bang, and then the other two, one after the other. And again, no bending, no rolls. It held up really well, and no issues whatsoever. Absolutely love this knife. While I show you some more beautiful imagery of my off-grid knives here, I just want to get a couple more shout-outs in. I cannot do an off-grid video without mentioning the shredder knife reviews. The shredder knife reviews, Ezekiel and his dad, whole family effort. They introduced pretty much off-grid to the entire community. They definitely sparked my interest in off-grid. He has done a multitude of off-grid videos. He has so many of them. He's pretty much like an ambassador for them. And I know he has a 10% discount. I think it's Shredder 10. I believe you could get 10% off all your orders. So thank you, Shredder family. Please subscribe to them if you're not. They're trying to get to 1,000. Let's get them there very soon. And I have to mention Grugs at Legion Tactical Cutlery. Anyone I mention is going to be, their links are going to be in my description. Grugs, we're very proud of you. You came such a long way in your channel. You have such great knives that you're sharing with us. And I know that your channel and your work is going to get better and better, because you got a lot of thrive and you just want to keep improving. And you're doing a great job, buddy. And thanks for all the shout outs you're giving to the community. Now, as far as specs, this particular Rhino with the D2 steel is actually discontinued. There is a version 2 with the 154 cm. It's a much more improved steel, but I'm assuming the other measurements are the same. It's got that specialized D2 steel. It's got a locking mechanism, which is a liner lock, ball bearing knife mechanism. It's a flipper. It's a right-hand carry. It's about 6.8 ounces, blade length of about 3.5 inches, which is perfect. It's in the blackout edition. Again, I don't think you'll be able to find this on their site because they have a version 2 out. It has a blade width of 1.5 inches, and it's got a blade hardness at around 60 or so. The ergonomics of this knife are absolutely fantastic. I love the belt clip. It's a it's a low riding belt clip. I like that it doesn't protrude out too much where it's uncomfortable to hold. It's very well done, G10. finger contoured, very comfortable G10 handle. You see the scales there, very grippy. Another shot of the D2 there. Really well put together knife, I have to say. Really beautiful in appearance. Definitely looks like a rhino back. And that's why they call it the rhino. Just a really handsome looking knife. A very great EDC offering from Off Grid. Guys, I want to take this time to also thank my members, the Steel membership. I just launched it like last week, and it's been doing really well. And I thank all my new members for joining my channel. And also the shirts. I'm not wearing my Blade Addict shirt. I'm rocking some American Eagle here today, but I do have my my Steel Fortune Fire hat. The Blade Addict shirt is doing extremely well. I'm fulfilling a lot of orders on it. So if you guys are interested in Blade Addict's shirt that I sell on the channel, message me on Instagram, and I thank you to all those that ordered a shirt. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy them. So there you have it, guys. So Off Grid, okay? Off Grid knives. I absolutely love Off Grid knives. They're built tough, built really well. They look great. They fit extremely comfortable in the hand. They have some great detent, okay? Some have better features than the others in terms of the open and close. But again, it's the nature of the beast. You know, as far as the spring loaded, you're going to have to expect that you're going to have to force it close. Whereas with the Rhino, it really closes really, not that time, really well. So love both the knives, love Off Grid, love their build quality, love the quality of their steel. And I do love the D2 that is very easy to sharpen, very easy to maintain the edge. Through the testing, no damage, no edge rolls. The point held up to everything I did. They're really well-built knives. There you have it, guys. There's my Off Grid video for you. Definitely not going to be the last. Definitely check out Off Grid. I think you'll find a beautiful knife, and they're built very well, and they're very reliable, and it's a great American company. So that's all I have for you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for tuning in and watching my stuff. All right. Till the next knife, next sword, guys. Choirboyz sword coming very soon. You're not going to want to miss it. Very excited about it. You're going to love it. I love it already. It's not even in my hands yet. So, Choirboyz sword coming next. See you when I see you guys. Love you all. Joe from Steel Forge and Fire signing out. Have a good one, guys. Ciao.